My news today is something I will. Oh, not that news just yet. This news. It is the launch of Mario Kart Live. This is actually from an article on CNN. It was published on October 14th, which is just literally last week. It's live. It's 100 US dollars. Comes with two carts and posts. Each player needs to have their own Switch, which is that's expensive. And if you guys have forgotten or you're listening for the first time, Adam and I live in Asia. And in Asia, people generally have smaller houses, not like in my home country, South Africa, or Adam's home country, the United States. So you don't really have the space to make this sort of like cool, fantastic, giant Mario Kart course. That means you need to schedule a play date in Asia anyway, or go somewhere or find someone who has a house. And if you don't know, kids in Asia are quite busy, especially with school or after school. They go to cram school classes, they go to painting, art, karate, math. This definitely seems more for a Western audience, which seems unfair since I would really love to play this. I'd love to have this and go somewhere outside and set up a course somewhere in like a big public space and just drive my Nintendo Mario Karts or real life Nintendo Mario Karts. I hope Nintendo comes out with a modified version of this since it's really not doable in a small home. To give our listeners an idea, my house is about 90 square meters, and there's literally not any space in this house to have any kind of circular course without having to move a lot of stuff. I know, out of the way. So I mean, it's really exciting, really cool, but I find it weird. I mean, even in Japan, Japanese people tend not to have huge houses. Taiwan, South Korea. So maybe this is just made for America. But even still, if you guys have read the articles, there's lots of cool stuff about this. You'll watch YouTube videos. People say, "Oh, these carts are really cool because you get to see what's under your sofas and all the dirt and dust." And people are finding lost objects. If you're watching the video right now, you can see the cart has a camera on top, which shows broadcast video to your Switch, and you get to see all the stuff from that perspective in your house, which is kind of cool. Um, so, Adam, what do you think?
Do you know the size of these carts? I mean, you say it's going to fit under your sofa, but it seems to me, just looking at it, you'd have to have a pretty tall sofa, right?
I mean, looking at the video, it looks like they're kind of big. I've seen the size because they are selling them here in Taiwan. They're actually no bigger than the size of my hand. They're quite small.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not heavy at all. So no, yeah, they would definitely fit under most people's sofas. I would say most sofas. If you look in the video again, maybe that's not a typical sofa, but it would definitely fit under there.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. My house, if I went by floor space, I technically have a lot, but in Asia, most of our houses are built vertically, not horizontally, and so it's
Exactly.
not very conducive to a racetrack. Uh, do you know how many carts will be supported at a time? Like here, we are seeing Mario and Luigi. Do we know if it's limited to two players, or can it be more than that?
Can be up to four, so four players and four Nintendo Switches.
Okay. Now, could you? Okay, so when you're playing normal Mario Kart, you can have two players, each one using one Joy-Con. Could you use two Switches and then you play with four players, or each cart has to have its own Switch?
Each card has to have its own Switch because
Okay.
it is broadcasting the video from your particular cart.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't do like a split screen thing.
No,
Now,
no,
do
that
you
would be
think
cool.
this will work pretty well? Because I mean, in a family setting, I would assume most families don't have multiple Switches; they would just have one and share, right?
That's what I was thinking. That's a great point as well. Is the fact that yeah, I think most people. I know some people have two Switches, but I think out of all the people I know who have Nintendo Switches, they just have a single Switch. So that's why I thought about the idea of a play date, or be it a kid or an adult, where you and your friends go to somebody's house and you bring your Switches and your carts and you play Mario Kart Live. But that would require a lot of time, and especially for our age group, the middle-aged gamers, finding time to go to somebody's house to play Mario Kart, I think that would be fairly difficult.
Yeah, you do an office party.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That would be cool.
Could be fun. Now, do you know if they're limited to just Mario and Luigi, or they have plans to open up other racers in the future?
At the moment, I know when you buy the Mario Kart Live, you just get Mario and Luigi. In the future, you will get other races. I would assume, depending on how well this does, how well it sells, Nintendo will make more. I wouldn't be surprised now. I'm thinking about it that they just make one anyway because I mean people collect the amiibos, and this would be another thing that someone would collect and stick inside their showcase, or similar to what you have behind you as well, and put all the carts behind them just for show and probably never play with them.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be curious to see if they actually, because in the game they have the weight classes, right?
Yes,
And that affects the players. So lighter players have better acceleration, but heavier players have better drift and top speed. Uh,
exactly.
do you think they would actually make the carts have different functionality depending on who the character is, or do you think they'll probably just be purely aesthetic?
I think at the moment it's purely aesthetic. In the future, I would say they could do that. There's definitely the physical components exist where you could integrate it in a cart and make something that has so each card has physically different properties or reacts physically when the game is going on.
Right. You could do that through software too, saying, "Oh, this card's just going to cap out at a slightly higher speed or
Exactly.
accelerate or something."
Exactly.
Okay, but yeah, Mario and Luigi are both middle class or middleweight racers, so they're not going to function all that differently in the game anyway. Ah, that looks really cool.
It does. It does. I'm just jealous that. That's why I said I'm hoping they will have some sort of system where you can set up a public course outside. I'd like to go to the cultural center in Kaohsiung and set up a course with loads of space and just play Mario Kart out there. That would be so fun.
Well, if the popularity of Pokemon Go is anything to go by, I think we'll be certainly seeing this outdoors in the future.
That would be awesome. So that is it for my news. We're gonna move on to Adam's topic about sooner or later.